So, this deck is interesting. On one hand, I do really like Heroic Reinforcements alongside Hero of the Precinct One. On the other hand, I think this deck on the surface looks like it's kind of fallen into the trap that a lot of hero decks that felt bad last season fell into, which is that we are playing a variety of Magic the Gathering cards that are not constructed playable cards on their own, just while trying to make hero better. And basically what tends to happen a lot of the time in my experience playing decks like this is that because you don't always have hero, or sometimes when you have hero it dies, a lot of the times you end up with just like this motley crew of mediocre creatures that can't really contend with other constructed playable decks. So let's go ahead and take this one into a couple of matches here and see how it feels. But my estimation in starting is that this one's going to leave a little bit to be desired because of the average individual card quality that's been submitted with. Collision Colossus is potentially a very good spell to be included in this. All right, this hand's very good. We get to go, well, it's good in that we get to play our spells. But again, we're playing cards like Footlight Fiend and Zhur-Taa Goblin in our constructed deck. So we'll see how it ends up going. Look at that. We cleverly left the card we cared about on top of our deck before they thought erased us. I'm seeing a lot of good suggestions in chat. Collision Colossus seems excellent. Huatli's Raptor could be okay. Raptor's probably better than a Legionnaire that we can never trigger. But we're going into the format blind and played an MCQ this weekend. Would you just play red? No, I would play, what's the word I'm searching for? I would play white aggro with a blue splash for Little Teferi in the main deck. And you can find that deck list on my website under standard decks. So if I wanted to just kill people, I would either play white aggro splash Little Teferi, or I would play the green-red Sarkhan deck. And both of those are in the standard section of my site. That card is really good. Although, this card does also tell me that my opponent's likely a mid-range deck as opposed to a control deck, which is nice. They could be Esper Party Bus, that's true. They could also just be like Esper Hero. If I was playing to win and didn't mind playing aggro decks, like I said, green-red Sarkhan and white splash blue aggro are the two picks I would make. And like next turn I get to do this and hopefully run them over. White blue aggro is called Wet Weenie. That's a heck of a name.
I'll protect you.
Hopefully they just have stuff here. If they just have creatures to put into play, we could be okay. Alright. Goblin Haste, hold first strike. That's a good suggestion. I like that, Steric. So, if we Goblin Haste, they probably don't block. And if they do block, I get to eat their thing with first strike. So that's a good suggestion. How does Little Tef help white-blue aggro? Little Tef is a main deck hate card for decks like Wilderness Reclamation and Esper Control and other decks that are trying to interact with you at instant speed. And past being a main deck hate card for a variety of strategies that are popular in the format, Little Tef also generates tempo by bouncing your opponent's cards back to their hand and while beating them down. No mentor on the Emmara. No, I want a mentor onto a 2/2 token, so that way they don't have a bunch of creatures that they get to eat for free inside of combat. Undead Hunter, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Welcome, welcome. Although I guess if I mentor onto the Emmara, she can still attack next turn. The go to 1 play is bold. I wonder if they have a sweeper they're playing to here. They did know we had the heroic reinforcement, so maybe they're playing to a sweeper. Also, a fun trick you can do with white blue aggro with Teferi is after your History of Benalia makes the second night, you can bounce the history back to your hand and then replay it the following turn to make more knights. Esper, so in Magic the Gathering, we have jargon that defines each individual 3 color combination. So this deck that I'm playing, we refer to as Naya, which is white, red, and green, and Esper refers to blue, white, and black. I feel like this card's just absurd in the creature matchups. This card probably doesn't attack particularly well, although it's probably better than Footlight Fiend. This card's not very good against other decks that are coming up the board. Yes, you can also bounce your Loxodons to pump more. Chromatic Lantern, generally speaking, does not make sense in decks that have low-to-the-ground curves. So while Chromatic Lantern is a card that fixes your mana, generally speaking, the types of decks you would want to play that card in are decks that are trying to play more expensive cards ahead of time. So decks that would have a lot of 5, 6, and maybe even 7 mana cards in them. So, I think I'm going to play out Emmara first here as a Lightning Rod, because I think whichever 2-mana creature I lead on is likely to just die, and I'd prefer Emmara die than my Hero of the Precinct One die.
This isn't a fight you can win. Here we go.
Abzan was a recent term. Listen, dinosaurs are afraid of change.
I've got
it. Okay, that's a card that could potentially let us steal this game here. Feasting out Goblin to try and trade it for their Tef. Maybe? I don't know. I kind of like getting set up to go wide, especially with this Venerated Loxodon in my hand.
hero thing before. My heart is hollow with scorn for you.
Ravnica came out when I was in college. I now have 2 kids, a mortgage, and an aging dog. Get with the times, people, right? That was, this was maybe the best draw in our deck here. Because it lets us do this into this. And then next turn we get to, like, beep, run him down. That seems like a good suggestion too, Caperlich. So, again, for people who are newer to the channel, a lot of the deck lists, pretty much all the deck lists that we play, are viewer-submitted decks. So occasionally I make some changes to them. I did make some changes to this deck, but especially right now when I'm streaming 10 hours a day, it only gives me about an hour after each stream to make updates. So a lot of times the initial deck list we're starting with can be a little bit rough, or have some oversights on the part of the person who made it, myself as well. So even if we win this matchup, we're going to make a few changes here. And Collision Colossus seems reasonable. I think the suggestion of Boros Challenger is very reasonable.
I am ancient, and why fabric of the multiverse obeys me. Vampirism is a useful trait.
Is this lethal? They're at 25 and have 2 blockers. This might not be lethal. That actually gives me an extra attacker here, because it's going to trigger this again. Well, if this isn't lethal this turn, this should definitely make it lethal next turn. Uncertain if lethal, not my job to figure it out. It is in fact a lot of creatures. These are their blocks that absorb the most damage here, and they're taking 7. All right, figure it out. All right, they're at 2. Scale of 1 to dead. Where's my board at? Preheated. Thank you for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a fantastic Thursday wherever you're at. Like, from Cry of the Canarium to Kaya's Wrath to Time Wipe. Where are we at on the sadness scale? All right, we're at the happy end of the sadness scale. How are we doing, folks? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for dropping in here today. If you're new, my name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, sometimes even 50 hours a week. If you enjoy constructed Magic, this is definitely the channel for you. We play a variety of different decks here, and we change decks every 60 minutes to 2 hours. You get to see a lot of different things. As always, I'd love to give a shout-out to all my wonderful subs out there. I wouldn't be here day and out without their support, so thanks to all of them for keeping me employed. I also like to plug a couple of my wonderful sponsors here really quick. The Vitamin String Quartet creates unique instrumental arrangements of everything from Zelda to Zeppelin. They would love to be the underscore for your next gaming session, and you can find them streaming now on Spotify, Apple Music, and other similar services. InkedGaming.com will love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mousepad, binders, and bags with them. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of artwork that they already have on their website, such as my own Hoaglandia branded merchandise. Cardsphere.com will love to help you turn your cards into other cards directly to other players. There's no haggling, and they just take a 1% fee off the top. And, of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia. I know there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now, and I appreciate you choosing to spend part of your day here with us. Remember, if you are new and enjoying the content, make sure to hit that follow button. All right, let's make a couple of updates here. I think the Boros Challenger suggestion seems pretty reasonable over 10th District Guide. Gosh, this card just seems like aggressively mediocre. How do you know when you need to shield? Do you have a timer set up? It's just when I feel like it. I just keep track of. I make sure to plug one of each of my shield screens each day throughout the stream. Hey, well, thanks for being here, Testy. I'm glad you're learning. Strickles, thanks for the 9 months. Welcome back. I do kind of feel like I want some Collision Colossus in here. This card's like super, super reasonable. Deck of the day so far. We've had a lot of good ones. It's probably Esper Super Friends. But we've had a good range of sweet decks. Esper Super Friends, Blue Black Friends, and Bant Box were all super sweet. Domri is not only a piece of removal by letting us fight our opponent's creatures, but Domri also makes all of our creatures bigger by giving them extra power. So the idea behind playing Footlight Fiend, chat, is that it's a 1-mana spell that can trigger our hero. But again, I really feel like the inclusion of that is just playing a low quality card for the sake of trying to trigger our hero. And I'd like to just simply increase the average card quality in our deck. You know what also might be sweet? There's that 2-drop with Double Strike, right? That might also be better than the 2-drop with Double Strike might also be better than Boros Challenger. Swiftblade Vindicator. Yeah, that's the one. I've not updated the Esper Friends deck we played this morning to be on my website because we just played it. You can, however, find it on my Stream Decker page. Is our opponent playing a Mud deck? I think our opponent might be playing an all colorless Ugin deck. It's kind of sweet. Thanks for the clip choice. You may cast spells as though they had flash this turn, okay?
I have faced worse. I will not lose another friend.
Ajani is some anti-synergy with Heroic Reinforcements. You're not wrong. Or with Emmara. Amulet of Safekeeping. Creature tokens get -1 attack. Well, that's incredibly rude. I'm gonna kill the Great Creator here for good measure.
I will be better prepared next time.
Oh, I was like, why aren't they playing this? Ugin makes Amulet free. That's sweet. Whenever you become the target of spell or ability and put on controls, put a 1/1 counter on it. Okay. So I think I'm gonna start on this. I guess I should say, are they dead? If I play this in down tick, they can block here, and they take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm one short of a Johnny being lethal, right? Alright, well, hopefully they don't draw Oblivion Stone next turn. That would be bad for us.
I am more than flesh and blood.
Man, 1 mana, gain 3 life, draw a card. It's like Busted Revitalize. Meteor Golem. Yep.
One that grows no sweeter. Ether itself serves me.
Oh, I guess I could have attacked with Emmara first, huh? Are they dead? They're dead, right? They have 3 blockers. I have, oh no, we're 1 short of lethal. We're 1 short of lethal, right? Because they block these 3, and then they're only taking 9 over here. Oh no, this says trample. I think the trample means we get there, right? Because this is 10 and we trample for 1. Oh, they can gain 3 life as well. That's true. These blocks are not good because this does 13 and they're only going to 13. This is 8, 9. This is also 13, right? No, this is 6, 7, 11. I'm a little short. They get to draw a bunch of cards here, which is scary. They have another gain 3 sitting here in the bank on the relic. So we're hoping to draw like a Domri or another Ajani or heroic reinforcements here to pump up the jam. I mean, to be fair, if they didn't have the amulet, the tokens would have decimated them by now. That's funny. The amulet synergizes with the Ox token. So the Ox token's only a 1/3. Hopefully they're still dead. I guess they have mobilized district here that can activate and block next turn too. And they have a gain 3 in the bank from this. Hey, Curtin Sheath, thank you for the 9-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Are you dead yet? I believe they're dead, right? So 6, 7, 8, 9. They block these 3 and die over here. Man, the full art meteor golem is lit. This is lit in the most literal sense. If Blast Zone had the decency to kill tokens, we'd have lost this game, but it doesn't. You were unfortunately not kept safe, opponent. They just wanted to use their foil meteor golem, right? Oh, we have a lot of brown hate in our board. We have a lot of artifact, a lot of mud hate. Got a lot of ways to blow their stuff up. What do I want to cut? This probably isn't very good. Brian, thanks for the 11 months. Welcome back. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me around. That's true. Soul Diviner plus Blast Zone is build your own EE for 0. Elsic linked, there is a goldfish deck about something similar. A white artifact deck. Yeah, there it is. Old Zhur-Taa Goblin and your non-foil shame, you can go over here. They have so many land sound effects, chat. Yeah, Brian, all the ordering is weird on the notification. The day you send your notification and the day you resub are not the same anymore for most people. They missed a land drop here, which is probably a death knell. Our hand's actually pretty good here. So next turn we get to go Domri, Zhur-Taa Goblin, Loxodon, and like get set up for turn 5 lethal. Our goldfish draws are pretty good when the opponent doesn't interact with us. I don't know, they're gonna name Domri now. Read. I agree with your assessment about it. I agree with your assessment. What do we think? Do we like Boros Challenger or do we like Swiftblade? Feel like Swiftblade Vindicator might be better between Collision Colossus and Domri and Ajani and Heroic Reinforcements. Wow, it's Pat coming in hot with the 3/4 of a year of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Why do we like Huatli's Raptor? It is good with Loxodon too. I feel like we don't have anywhere near enough counters for the Proliferate on Huatli's Raptor to be good. Also, Huatli's Raptor is like this really awkward 2-drop that you don't want to play on 2 because you can't proliferate anything on 2. Nah, I still think the card's pretty individually weak, Jeffrey. Someone asked me if I think this deck is ladderable. I don't know that I think it's powerful enough to play on the ladder, which is why I'm not. I think there's a good chance that if we play against something that's heavily interactive, this deck is likely to get picked apart. You add most of this to the black-red Aristocrats deck, so it's likely second or third to be played tomorrow, and then whatever else to their black-white Cats deck. Sounds good, Modian. Will do. Afternoon, Nerd Girl. Although I suppose it's still barely morning on the wrong coast. Basic Island Blast Zone. I'm about to get syncopated. I guess I'd rather this get syncopated than this get syncopated. Could be Reclamation, yeah. It's been so long since I played against Reclamation that the Island Blast Zone didn't click. That's definitely what it could be. Is actual factual syncopate, so probably not Nexus. That's great, Tamir. Let's sit down for a bit. Yeah, it could be some kind of 2-color control deck. Oh, is that good with a double striker? How do you feel about that one with double strike? So this is a thunk for 8, right? 4 and 4. Beep beep. I don't think they're Nexus because they played a couple of syncopates here. Destraminator coming in hot with the tier 2 sub. Can I bump the least competitive looking modern deck of the queue? Yeah, definitely. There's mono blue Narset plus Days Undoing in the deck queue right now. I don't really know what they're doing, so I'm going to click submit. I guess Legion Warboss is probably good. They're probably a more controlling deck, huh? That would be my estimation from what I saw. I'm going to cut a Johnny and swap it out for an individually powerful card like Legion Warboss. Yeah, they could be like a blue control deck that was missing a color. Like, they could also be trying to play some kind of wacky mono blue style thing. My board strategy here is foils in, non-foils out, cut basics. That's like solid all around. Hard to argue with that. At least it's consistent, right? Like, what more could you ask for? In general, I don't like boarding in Cindervines against decks where it's just going to sit there and deal 1 damage to them. I think a lot of the times that's less ideal than just like having other like individual threats like creatures that attack every turn. Or could it have a chance in Modern? No, Modern's a really brutal and efficient format. A card like Young Pyromancer tends to be a little bit easier to trigger in something like Modern. Once upon a time, there was a competitive Young Pyromancer deck, and then Modern became even more brutal and efficient than it was before. Probably Scholar. Do I just guaranteed kill this? I think I want to just guaranteed kill this. Probably play a tapped land. To answer the question about ranked versus not, I am electing to play decks that I think are probably a little bit less than being completely competitive in the unranked queue. So you'll be able to get an estimation of how powerful I think a deck is based on what queue I'm playing it in. Yeah, I'm not gonna stress out about getting to the top 1,000 like I did in the first season, but I'm not gonna intentionally play decks that I think are a little bit less than ideal in the rank to like hammer and extra. I believe the unranked has some hidden MMR, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I agree, Derelict. Like, taking a deck that's, like, a little bit less than competitive and running it into, like, Nexus and all these other decks that are likely to destroy it is less than fun. I mean, people are kind of in chat trying to give my opponent's deck crap here, but I don't think we're winning this game. I think Benthid here, along with this 0-4, have kind of locked up the ground, and they're going to kill us in the air slowly with this Tempest Shin. You're correct, Kuritin, that it is technically correct to attack before playing the Emmara, but in actuality, they're not going to play around anything and they're just going to block, so it doesn't matter. If you'd prefer to swap your modern list to that standard list, I can do that, Scholar. Let me know. I just don't have the closing power here. Alright, I think I want Conclave Tribunal. They actually have better blockers than I was expecting, so I think I'm going to cut this Legion Warboss and put this Ajani back in. I'll put the Elephant back in. He's a big, beefy boy. This is fine. Yeah, the problem with Huatli, though, is I don't really have a way to protect her. Is this a best of 1 deck, or is it a best of 3 deck? I guess would be my one question. Am I working this weekend? Yeah, I'm planning to, Demi. I'm not sure which of the 2 days I plan to stream, but I'm going to be on either Saturday or Sunday. Until I work through the backlog in the standard queue, I plan to be on at least 1 day every weekend. Free attack with my 2/2 into their 0/4 here. Gets me a token. I'm just gonna attack and then pass here. Hey, look, something to do while they opt. I'm gonna attack at least once more here. Get these tokens onto more. Get these counters onto more tokens. Merfolk Trickster, huh? Give him the tree. You get like blinked in response here. It's like a 1-for-1 in their blink. It's not terrible. The 2/2 getting into play is a little annoying in the face of my slew of 1/1s. Be surprised if this resolves on the way back down. Yep. Got plenty of removal here, though, so unlike last game where they, like, put threats into play and ended up killing us, it's pretty unlikely to happen, so... Eventually we can deploy our threats through their counter spells, then we can... That's an Ugin, yep.
Every exploit ripples through time. The fabric of the multiverse obeys me.
Perfect. And then next turn we can start making Elefantes. Yep. We're not taking this deck to Mythic Ranked, no. I'm playing the Black White Aristocrats deck we played yesterday, and I breezed through Plot to Diamond. Seems very good. Yeah, I agree, Zach. I think it has a lot of good tools to be competitive in a lot of situations. I was thoroughly impressed with how well it was able to punch through the what's it called? The Reclamation decks that we played against. Does unranked still have smooth shuffling? I don't actually know the answer to that. I'd assume they're referring to the deck list that's on my website tool. The one that we played yesterday on stream. So, this obviously doesn't kill Kefnit, but it tucks him back into their deck, which is fine. It was sweet. Felt very, very reasonable. Your wife is the best wife ever. She really is. Is that enough? Let's try one more before we wrap it up. You've played a lot of standard. Which standard card has been much better than expected? Little Teferi, and Little Narset. Three mana Tef, 3 mana Narset, both like far and away better than I ever thought they would be during spoiler season. That was great, babe. Thank you for bringing me lunch. This deck needs more chance for glory because it makes for good television. Tybalt's fine. I wouldn't say Tybalt's overperformed though. I thought Tybalt would be fine during spoiler season, and it's just fine is a good descriptor of him. Like, Narset and Teferi feel like format-defining cards, which I did not predict that they would be. Definitely Vance coming in hot with the brand new Prime Sport. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a fantastic Thursday afternoon. Watcher upon the threshold. Thank you for the 8-month resub. Can you give me some context? Well, there are plenty of people who don't make it to Plat 1. I don't really have good objective metrics with which to talk to you about comparison sakes, unfortunately, Vance. We don't have metrics of what percentage of players make it to Mythic and which don't, etc. from my knowledge. If there is that data posted somewhere, feel free to share someone, cite a source. Alright, playing against what looks to be Esper something. Let's see how we do against someone that wants to pick us apart. Rude. Green source. Green source. Perfect. Am I gonna do this? I'm gonna Tajic. That's also not strictly true, Zilla. So, while some small portion of it is how much you're playing, there's definitely a percentage of people that still don't win enough to just you can't just win 25% of your games and advance up the ladder. So there is some correlation there, but it's definitely not the only factor. That's not strictly true either, Venfaith, because you do get the free match loss at at each floor. So like if you put your losses in the right spots, you could technically have less than 50% and still climb up, right? It also depends on streaks too. Like if you lose a bunch of matches at a rank floor and then if opponent doesn't have a removal spell here, they're actually dead to the Zhur-Taa Goblin. Yeah, like if you go 6 and 6 on a given day and like all 6 of your losses are on the rank floor, you're gonna advance very reasonably, right? Oh, Esper control is a good descriptor of what just happened. I think I just swap out the Collision Colossus for 3 Legion Warboss and call it a day. I don't think I want these other cards. I'm not a big fan of Cindervines against Esper, although I guess a Johnny Greathearted is not amazing. And this is a card that kills them on its own. Alright, let's try this. Gonna lose 100 times at the rank floor to build up some cumulative variants that hit Mythic easy. There's someone that's got it all figured out. They know what's up. Get that nasty cumulative variance out of the way. Get it work it in your favor. So this doesn't currently have a way to come into play untapped, but the rest of our cards are pretty reasonable here. And I've got double 2-drops, so regardless of what they thought erasure, we're getting something onto the board this turn. Alright, Raging Goblin wannabe. Get in there and do your thing. Yeah, well, thanks for the sub. I appreciate you keeping me around. Every time I hit a rank floor, I concede the next 20 games to pump some stars into the system. Yeah, you wanna pump up the people playing the real deck so that way your Jink can win a little bit more often. Get him boosted. Yeah, that's true. Collision Colossus has been on the downswing in the format in general, mostly because Mono Blue's fallen off a bit. Yikes. We were able to steal game 1, but this game's gone a little bit closer to, like, what I was expecting overall in terms of our matchup against Esper. Just getting 1-for-1 to lot here. The old 4-4 for 5. How much longer on this deck? This will probably be the last match with it before we roll on to red-white metal. Wow, they're casting down that instead of the Warboss. Oh, that makes sense. They had the cry. Yeah, we play a good range of things, Vance. A lot of the times we don't tend to play too many decks that are popular metagame decks because people don't tend to want to pay to see those decks played. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Still right, but I forgot about that.
Me to phase you out of time?
They can only punish you if they catch you.
Hold that thought.
Like, we can maybe kill this Teferi here, but it feels like we're just treading up water regardless. I mean, so Zenthoth, what you're writing off as being skillless, I would say is bad deck building. So if you know these cards are, it's no different than any other decks, than any other cards in any other format. If you understand that cards like Narset and Teferi are format defining, you need to be building your decks in a way that allows you to counteract them. So like in Teferi's case, it means moving more towards a tap out control style deck that's powered on discard spells and removal as opposed to a counterspell based deck. It also means that playing creatures or things that can generate creature tokens in your control decks is better, because those things allow you to pressure the planeswalkers that are disrupting you. Which planeswalker? I really like Ral's voice lines. Ral has like a lot of dad jokes tied up in his voice lines. It's really great. Alright, well, our start is very good here. I've got multiple good threes, and they didn't kill my hero on one. Not surprised to see Domri go away here. I'm going to play Tajic as my 3-drop here. And the reason why I'm doing this is Tajic mentoring onto my hero allows my hero to survive a cry, which is ideal. Like, obviously getting Legion Warboss going, making tokens is nice, but getting my hero to a point where it can survive a cry seems really powerful. Alright, and now I get to do this, and then I can shock this in, and then I can plus him, make a red, and then haste this. And Tajic is going to get to mentor onto Zhur-Taa Goblin now, which again then lets Zhur-Taa Goblin survive Cry. And should they have Kaya's Wrath, I have Legion Warboss as a follow-up here. Yep. Yeah, that was like a very reasonable curve, huh? What are my final thoughts on this? I really liked that curve. That was nice. I think a Johnny might be a little bit too expensive in here. And I think I want to play a more efficient 3-drop. So I think my parting changes for this deck would be like an extra Domri and an extra Spellbreaker. Because Domri like gives us more pseudo removal in the main deck too, which is nice. You can always find the deck list that we're currently playing, as well as all the deck lists that we've played previously on my Stream Decker page. And then obviously they also get uploaded to my YouTube channel later this evening. So if you want something the day we're playing it before it gets uploaded in the evening, you can always grab it off the Stream Decker page. I think something like this is pretty reasonable. I also like that he makes mana, which means, like, if we're stumbling on lands, he can like, ramp us up a little bit. I think Collision Colossus was fine. I think 3 of these is probably plenty. And it's got some sweet synergy with Swiftblade Vindicator, which is nice. So, I think this is probably where I would leave Naya Hero. Alright, red, white, metal. Where are you? Alright, so we've got The person who built this, and this is actually, it's rare that I look at a mana base and think this, but the person who submitted this submitted with 3 Boros Guild Gates in it, which I actually think might be too many. Like, it's rare that I look at a mana base someone else has given me and think that that's too much fixing, but there's no double red cards in this deck, right? Which means, like, 15 to 16 red sources is probably plenty. I agree that I want 17... I agree that I want 17 white. I don't think I have room for a 3rd district, because I think I need 17 white, but I think I could go down to, like, 15 red and still be reasonable. Because, like, this is 10... 16 red. Usually like 14 to 15 red is what you need for like red 2-drops. And tapped lands do come at a real cost. When Path Metal enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to each creature in that first strike, double strike, vigilance, or haste. When you attack with 2 or more creatures, and then it destroys stuff and deals damage. Now I think I want 17 white sources. 17 is about where you want to be to have Gideon tokens. No history of Benalia is really weird, right? History's probably better than Firebrand. Like, this is a really low quality card. And this counts first strike too, right? I think I want some knights in here. Knight of Grace is very good. This card doesn't kill a whole lot. 2/1, 2/1s with first strike are a-okay. I do like Swiftblade Vindicator into Tajic is a sweet curve. You want the white finale? I guess it just makes, like, History of Benalia. Like, 4 mana, make 2 2/2s. 4 mana, is 4 mana, make 2 2/2s good enough? They're also not knights for history. Yeah, I think some number of Shalai are fine. Although I wouldn't hate... Vanguard is very good against control. Heroic Reinforcements triggers metal. This is a good 1/2 curve punch. Hey, I think I like that. I think I'm in for that. Do I want some Vanguards in the 75 to mess up control extra? Probably. No, I think I'd rather have threats that are just hard to kill than something like Finale. Alright, let's try this. Man, I've been really bad about posting decks in the... Posting decks in the thing. No, it'll be in the queue for the top of tomorrow, Scholar. I don't have the mental capacity to fix that deck today. That deck's got a lot going on, and I need to take time to take it all in. So swapping it out for the other one that's in the queue should put it at the top of the standard queue for tomorrow.